Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Intro music with mysterious and suspenseful tones begins, overlaid with quick cuts of ancient maps, blurry photographs of unidentifiable shapes in water and forests, and artist renderings of monstrous creatures. The music fades to a low, ominous hum as the host appears on screen. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Creature Unknown, the channel where we dive deep into the shadows and explore the mysteries that lurk just beyond the edges of our understanding. You've all heard the stories, the campfire tales passed down through generations about monstrous beasts that defy explanation. But what if some of these legends weren't just stories? What if, hidden in the darkest corners of our world, these creatures are not only real, but still terrifyingly active? Tonight, we're peeling back the veil of myth to investigate three legendary beasts that might just be more fact than fiction. We're not just talking about grainy photos and third-hand accounts. We're looking at historical records, scientific theories, and chilling modern encounters that suggest something very real is out there. From the crushing depths of the ocean to the densest, most remote jungles on the planet, we're going to examine the evidence and ask the question you're all here for. Are these creatures actually real, and should we still be afraid? Prepare to have your perception of reality shaken. We're starting with a terror from the abyss that has haunted sailors for centuries. Transition to dramatic, sweeping shots of a stormy ocean with waves crashing against rocks. Number 3. The Kraken ** the Kraken. The very name conjures images of pure, unadulterated terror on the high seas. We've all seen the depictions in movies and art. Colossal squid or octopus of unimaginable size, with tentacles capable of snapping the masts of the mightiest ships and dragging entire crews down to a watery grave. For centuries, these tales were dismissed as the fanciful ramblings of superstitious sailors, nothing more than a myth born from the fear of the unknown depths. But what if the legend of the Kraken is grounded in a terrifying reality? Legend itself has ancient roots, with tales of giant sea monsters prevalent in Norse sagas dating back to the 13th century. The Speculum Regale, an old Norwegian educational text, described a creature so massive that it was often mistaken for an island. It was said to have a circumference of more than 1.5 miles and was capable of creating deadly whirlpools that could suck ships under. For the sailors of that era, who traversed the unforgiving North Atlantic in relatively small wooden vessels, such a creature would have been the ultimate nightmare. These accounts were so pervasive and detailed that they were often treated as fact, a genuine peril of the sea that one prayed never to encounter. For a long time, science had no category for such a monster. It was relegated to the realm of mythology, alongside dragons and sea serpents. But then, in the 19th century, something incredible happened. Carcasses of enormous squid began washing ashore on beaches around the world. In 1873, a particularly massive specimen was found in Newfoundland, its tentacles measuring over 30 feet long. This was the first undeniable proof of the existence of the giant squid, Architeuthis dux asterisk. Science had finally caught up with legend. But the question remained, just how big could they get, and could they be responsible for the Kraken legends? While the giant squid was indeed a real animal, the idea of one sinking a large ship was still considered improbable. However, recent discoveries have forced us to reconsider. In 2004, Japanese scientists captured the first-ever images of a live giant squid in its deep-sea habitat. What they saw was astonishing. An active, aggressive predator, far from the sluggish beast it was once imagined to be. Then, in 2012, they filmed one in its natural environment, a truly momentous achievement. And the size. While most documented giant squid are in the 30 to 45-foot range, scientists believe they could grow much larger. But there's another, even more formidable candidate for the real-life Kraken. The colossal squid, Mesonichotuthis hamiltoni asterisk. This species, found in the frigid waters of the Antarctic, is even more massive than the giant squid, with a shorter body but a much larger mantle and greater overall weight. It also possesses rotating, swiveling hooks on its tentacles, making it an even more fearsome predator. Could a truly exceptional specimen of either of these species, a true leviathan of the deep, be the creature that inspired the terrifying legends of the Kraken? When you imagine a 60-foot, hook-tentacled behemoth emerging from the abyss, the line between myth and reality becomes terrifyingly thin. Transition to shots of dense, mist-shrouded jungles in the Congo Basin. Number 2. Mokolembembe *, our next creature, takes us deep into the heart of Africa, to the vast, largely unexplored Congo River Basin. For over 2 centuries, local tribes, missionaries, and Western explorers have spoken of a living monster in these remote swamps, a creature they call Mokolembembe, which translates to one who stops the flow of rivers. Their descriptions have been remarkably consistent. A creature the size of an elephant, with a long neck and tail and a small head. Sound familiar? It should. The description perfectly matches that of a sauropod dinosaur, the long-necked giants that science tells us vanished from the Earth 65 million years ago. The first documented Western accounts of Mokolembembe date back to 1776, from a French missionary named Abbé Lévin Bonaventure Proyart. He wrote of a creature whose footprints were seen in the region, which were said to be about 3 feet in circumference. Over the next 2 centuries, more reports trickled out of the Congo. In 1913, a German explorer, Captain Freiherr von Stein-zu-Lossnitz, was told by pygmies about a creature they called Mokalembembe, which they described as having a long, flexible neck and feeding on a specific type of liana plant, yet being hostile to humans, hippos, and crocodiles. These stories could be easily dismissed as folklore, but the sheer consistency of the descriptions from different tribes across a vast geographic